inclusionists as tourists are here. So as you can see, well, you don't know, but I'm in Toronto, and the reason that you know this is Toronto is that behind me is the CN Tower. It looks a bit like Blackpool Tower slash the Berlin TV Tower slash not really. So I'm in Toronto, and this is the first film that I've made for a while. Since I last made a film, I've been to Ottawa for 3 days. Had a meeting with a couple of politicians to talk about general sort of like federal Canada, i.e. Canada National thoughts about inclusion and diversity, which was really helpful. Also, it was really great to meet a group of disability rights activists at the National Association for the Education of Disabled Students, and also Carleton University Disability Awareness Committee. Just great to sort of share some thinking around the challenges that disability rights activists face in terms of accessing education, but also accessing inclusion and Canada generally. That was really important. But now, Toronto. Had a number of really good meetings here with parents and with legal advocacy organisations. Not had a chance to get to any schools here. I think really because Toronto isn't there yet in terms of inclusive education. But I think the thing to know is that it's a province of 13.5 million people. They have 72 school boards, school districts, 67 of whom have no special schools. So that's progress. Most disabled young people, particularly young people with learning difficulties, are in what are described as special education classes, but they're within regular schools. That's not great, of course. They need to do a lot more to get rid of those special education classes, but there are lots of challenges about ending those. In the same way, in the UK we know there is a huge challenge really having a conversation about closing special schools. But I think what's interesting about Toronto and Ontario as opposed to New Brunswick is about scale. I think lots of people say that things were possible in New Brunswick because it's a much smaller province, around 760,000 people, and like I said, 13.5 million people here. But everything's possible. It's just about understanding how to scale that kind of change up. So it's had a great time in Toronto. Weather's been a bit miserable. As you can see, it's kind of what I would describe as typically British weather. We've had rain a lot of the time, but it's still been great to be here, and inclusionists are everywhere. We are, whether we're in New Brunswick, we're in the UK, we're in Finland, we're in Toronto, and it's just been great really sharing some space with people that share not only my view of inclusive education, but the global view on inclusive education. So this might be my last film from Canada. I don't know. I'll give it some thought. Anyway, see you soon.